Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So we've been decoding the agreed upon section of Bible changes. We got 60 total letters, and I found out I did actually counted this. I believe I counted we have 21 letters of the alphabet. So we don't have the whole alphabet. We do have over half, but not in any order that would. Anyway, I will provide uh, our extractions and our correct extractions from our genetics part 1 video. To get through a little faster, I will just tell you the extractions are INWFAYONELRSPASES DBHWHTESPASS there's your AI, NSTSDBRMATCOUCHWINKINSBOTTL. And actually, these up here, as they go, oh yeah, I kind of screwed up over there. But anyway, yeah, these right here. And you can pause that and take a look at them. But we've already got these letters to go forwards and backwards in finance or the stock market. We've already got these to go forwards and backwards in genetics and found some pretty interesting stuff. Got them to go forwards and backwards in medical. We got them to go forwards and backwards in chemical. We got them to go forwards and backwards in technology. And we have now got them to go forwards in research or research groups. And now we're coming back. And those of you who've been following along will possibly appreciate this because there's some pretty crazy connections going on here. So you start off with LTTO, and that ends up being, once again, we've had them before, UC Louvain Office of Research Administration, but that is the Louvain Technology Transfer Office, and that's the research administration. All right, we've had them before, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. If you move on from that, you end up with OB, which ends up being research and organizational behavior. All right, this isn't a particular research group, but this is research in organizational behavior. And the reason I found that interesting was because we had behavioral genetics a couple of times. We had a behavioral health national interest waiver, and we've had other behavioral health things in this particular search. And it just dawned on me why that may be. All right, so moving on from that, you have SNI, which ends up being Swedish Neuroscience Institute. All right, neuroscience. Now we've had neuroscience already in this search, in this Bible search, right? You also have SNI, Swiss Nanoscience Institute. We've also had nanoscience. So there you go. There's two more connections right there. If you move on from that, you have KNI, which ends up being the Kali Nanoscience Institute. Oh, all right. More nanoscience right behind the nanoscience. So I don't think I have to say a whole lot about that, guys. You got behavioral health, then a neuroscience institute, a nanoscience institute with SNI, and followed by another nanoscience institute at Caltech, or Cavli, excuse me, C-A-V-L-I. I said Kali, but it's C-A. I thought I read my V as a U, but it's Cavli Nanoscience Institute. All right, and that pretty much speaks for itself, guys. You got that stuff right in a row. And if you move on from that, you have IWH, which ends up being IWH, yeah, Leibniz Institute for It's German, guys, I think. Oh, I can't even pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. But it's IWH, and it's an institute. And it says our research groups dynamic discrete choices of individuals, econometric tools for macroeconomic forecasting, financial market structure. So these guys are into financial and market research. All right. Um, and you also have IWH Institute for Work and Health, and they have research groups as well. So I will provide both of those links, and that's what you got there. And if you move on from that, you get CUO. Okay, well, this isn't a research group either, but it's research. And I found it interesting because in situ, SITU, C2, loading of highly dispersed CUO nanoparticles on hydroxyl group rich SiO2 AI 0 OOH composite nanosheets for CO catalytic oxidation. All right, so CUO are nanoparticles that they're studying. I found this at ResearchGate, and it's not a research group, but what did we just end up having, right? Nanoscience, and here's nanoparticles, and it's being researched. So I think that fits right in there. And if you move on from that, you wind up with CTA, which ends up being CTA Research Group. Let me make sure that's where I'm at. It is School of Environmental Sciences. It says, welcome to my site. My name is CT Aravind Kumar. My research group and I are involved in environmental chemistry related research. All right, environmental chemistry. And if you move on from that, you have TAMR, which ends up being that TAMR, digital transformations demands new approaches to data integration. TAMR's solutions break the rules by making it easy to use machine learning to unify your data silos. And out there, it was talking about their research. So apparently, they in fact do research. I'm not seeing it here, but I read it, and that's why I came in here. But yeah, these guys, they're biopharma. Why not? Oh yeah, they're doing research. Biopharma, TAMR for government, media analysis. There's research right there. So yep, I would say they're heavily into some research and some machine learning. And by the way, they are still on the circle list. We can see that right there. It's hard for me to see, guys, but I hope I got it. So if you move on from that, we've got them before, so they're still circled. We'll run the numbers against them. If you move on from that, you end up with DBS, which ends up being DBS Group, and that is within DBS Bank, and they are into market research. We give more insights and analysis to the latest news on Asian and global equities, foreign exchange, trade, and etc. to help you grasp the market dynamics. All right. So they're into market research, and it's Research DBS Group. And so I'll provide that link. And You also get database systems research group and database systems research group. So you can get about figure they research databases, or I'll look into it, guys. I'll provide the link. But they're a research group, and this is a lot of information. So um, if you move on from that, you end up with TSN, which ends up being TSN Global Market Research Company. Also, Kantar TNS, United States. So Kantar TNS is the leading full-service custom market research agency in North America, delivering precise insights and actionable growth strategies. All right. Now, TSN Global Market Research Company. TSN is one of the largest market research agencies in the world, one of the world's largest research insight, information, and consultancy groups. All right. So I think you're dealing with two different things there, or two different organizations. But I'll provide both links. And if you move on from that, you get IAG. And by the way, we're coming backwards. Now, if I didn't mention that, we are coming backwards through these letters. So now we're to AIG, or IAG, excuse me, and IAG ends up being IAG Research. And they deal with insurance. All right. So you can leave that open just a little bit. It's plenty warm. But they deal with insurance research. And if you move on from that, you get AGA. And AGA, the one that stood out to me, there's several things. I might provide this and the search so you can see what all is there. It's one of those that there's quite a bit there. Some of it doesn't, some of it doesn't, it all seems relevant, but all right. Let's just look at AGA Research Group. And this is Diana S. Aga, AGA, PhD. And our research involves the development and applications of conventional and innovative analytical techniques to study the environmental fate and transport of pesticides, industrial chemicals, and wastewater contaminants that are commonly found in surface and groundwater. All right. So, and this goes on, guys. But beyond that, you actually have Department of Chemistry, University of Buffalo, Diana S. Aga. Is that who I just read? Yes. So that's the same person, actually. Here's the other one. You have AGA, Center for Gut Microbiome Research and Education. All right, that is different. The mission of AGA, Center for Gut Microbiome Research and Education, is to advance research and education on the gut microbiome. All right. AGA. You also have the American Gastroenterological Association. Provides research funding opportunities and ensures GIs have a voice. All right. So you got a few things going on with it. You also have the Aga Khan University, MC Pakistan. The AGA Khan University. And welcome to the research groups of AGA Khan. So there's multiple research groups going on there. The first one was Diana SAGA. And I thought that was interesting because of the wastewater and chemicals, because we've, you know, especially in other searches, we've definitely had wastewater management before. But I will probably just provide this search, guys, because there's quite a few things there for AGA. But if you move on from that, you get SSA, which once again, and this is just an example of one going forwards and backwards. I've been trying to avoid it, but I figured I'd do one example, especially since it was a government one. And it actually ran forwards and backwards through these research groups, Social Security Administration, again. And I will provide this link here that came up on this search. And it talks about research, Social Security, research, statistics, and policy analysis. All right. So moving on from that, you end up with PSC, which ends up being Process Systems Engineer Research Group. That's you also have PSE, the Population Sciences and Epidermology PSE. PSE Research Centers, Paris School of Economics. All right, so right there you've got three research groups. You've also got current research themes in the PSE group, Department of Chemical. Yeah. Of chemical something, guys. I'm trying to process systems engineering. Well, that's really about all there is for PSE that I see that's really relevant there. But yeah, you got a few things. You got three different research groups. One deals in chemicals, one deals in process systems engineering, and one deals with population science and epidemiology, and one deal. Oh, I guess there must be four. One deals with economics. It looks like you might have one more, polymer science and engineering, PSE, and research group. So there's another one. So yeah, you got a few going on here for PSE. But if you move on from that, you get TH. And TH ends up being TH Chan, Pediatric Neural Epidemiology Research Group at Harvard. All right, I'll provide this link. You can look at that. I'm not going to go into that much, but if you move on from that, you get WHB, which ends up being WHB Healthcare. WHB Healthcare is a biotechnology company focused on developing natural active ingredients, organic natural products, research, and professional health supplements development. Made by a group of Chinese medicine biotechnology authorities, including the University of Tokyo's renowned scholars, doctors, professionals of Taiwan, whom have more than 30 years' experience in medical, nutritional, and food industries, with two award-winning long-standing biotech companies and organic ecological farms. All right. So, biotechnology, we've had that before, quite a bit, actually. And if you move on from that, you end up with DSE, which ends up being DSE, uh, Down Syndrome Education International Research Team. DSE Research Team. All right. Down syndrome. So they research Down syndrome. Not much more to say about them, I guess. Moving on from that, you end up with SAP, which ends up being SAP Leonardo, and they deal in they research machine learning. SAP Leonardo Machine Learning Research. Well, it's telling me right down here, never miss a story from SAP Leonardo Machine Learning Research when you sign up for Medium. All right, so it tells you right there. And it says, people often come to us and ask what SAP does in the area of machine learning and how we keep on top of the fast-paced field. There's a clear answer to these questions. We build new and empower existing products with machine learning, and we do continuous research. All right, you know what? That sounds like one that needs a circle, right? Machine learning? Yeah, if I can find it here. Let's see. Oh no, I already circled them. Good for me. So, SAP Leonardo, and they deal in machine learning. All right. If you move on from that, you got SRL, which ends up being SRL Research, Sensory and Consumer Research, Pharma Research. Pharma Research SRL has earned a global reputation for its experience and success in the area of pharmaceutical research. All right. So yeah. Oh, and then the other thing you had with that was Survival Research Labs, SRL. Uh, and it says someone is going to be given a presentation on the newest SRL machine. Survival Research Laboratories was conceived and founded by Mark Pauline. You also have Premier Research Group SRL, and they're on LinkedIn. You also have Made in Italy SRL, Market Research Company in Italy. So there's a market research company. You also have Cisco Research Laboratories. SRL is a research laboratory chemical manufacturers. Oh, research and laboratory chemical manufacturers based in Mumbai, India. Specialized in agaroses, reagents, biochemicals, organic intermediates. So you got a few things going on there, guys. Yeah, I might just provide that link. You also have GSSRL, a graph sampling approach. Oh, that's a different research group. So, yeah, you got a few things going on there. I'll provide either the search or some of the links, guys. But you got several things going on with SRL. If you move on from that, you end up with ENO, right? SRL. ENO. And ENO ends up being transportation research, for one thing. We've got that in another search before. Not the Bible one, but in another search for another Mandela Effect. Did we find highway and transportation research? Possibly in the numbers, but here we have it in the letters. And you also have ENO Ebenson, PhD in physical chemistry. You also have Sarah Eno, University of Maryland. And it says research, experimental particle physicist. Experimental particle physicist. So experimental particle physics. Working on the CMS collaboration. All right, so you got a few things going on with ENO. That's page 1. But yeah, and I might just provide that search, and I might provide the individual links. I'll decide. But if you move on from that, you end up with Y by itself. And I had to back off and take Y by itself, by the way, because I was having a hard time with this. I mean, there wasn't really much relevant stuff coming up until I took it back to why, which I thought was just, I was going to end up having to go look at some of the unrelevant stuff. And what did I find? Why research? Y Combinator Research was founded in 2015 to fund work that requires a very long time horizon, seeks to answer open-ended questions, or develops technology that shouldn't be owned by any one company. That shouldn't be owned by any one company. Yeah, well, that sounded interesting enough to me. But if you move on from that, and this is what I found interesting, I backed off to Y, right? Well, then I took AF and got Air Force Research Laboratory, right? Patterson Air Force Base. Oh, a military research laboratory. Looks like they do naval medical research. Oh, naval medical research. I don't know what that's doing in the Air Force, but I'm not sure I can go in here. The Army wouldn't let me in to that website for the armies. I'm not so certain the Air Force will either, but it's here. I'll probably provide the search, and that's the most interesting thing to me here. And you have another military government facility, and here it is, Air Force Lab, Air Force Research Laboratory. So let's think about this for 1 second. We're almost done, but in this search alone, this search is full of military and government, right? Let's think about it. We've had Navy hits, we've had Army hits, now we've had Air Force hits, we've had Social Security Administration hits, and we've had a federal agency in Germany, in the German government. We had that hit as well. So the government is kind of pretty much all over this one, as my fiance pointed out. They're kind of, yeah. It looks like you might actually have the government involvement in this, as far as using the quantum network. But we'll find out if we think that's what's going on. But moving on from that, you have WN, which ends up being Wireless and Networking Research Group at Microsoft Research. All right. You also have WN Percy's Research Works. All right. So that's what you got. You got Wireless and Networking Research Group, Microsoft Research, and you have WN Percy's Research Works, Queen's University, Kingston, Queen's University. So, yep. And it looks like he's into medical research from what I'm seeing here. Fetal PCO2. That sounds to me like a medical thing. And that's what you got for that. And then if you take NI, you end up with NI Research Group, Department of Chemistry and Chemical Biology at Harvard. You also have NI Research Lab, UCLA Physics and Astronomy. NI Group. Yep, NI Group is working to create molecules at the lowest possible temperature and to study their chemical reactions and physical interactions at such ultra cold temperatures. So that's another one, and they're at Harvard as well. That might be the NI Research Group still. Yeah, it looks like you got one at UCLA, you got one at Harvard. NI Research Group, is that the one? DrugDiscoveryToday.com. There's NI Research Group. So, and you get into MIT. You also have Northern Institute, Central Australia Research Group, Northern Institute. At Charles Darwin University. So you got a few things going on with NI. And that gets you through going backwards and forwards. We already went forwards, but that now gets you through going backwards in research and research groups. All right. Well, the next thing we'll do is random hits on these letters to see if any other category or anything that didn't pop up before pops up. And from there, we'll be converting all those letters into numbers.
Translations.
Oh, translations. Yeah, that'll be a thing. Sometimes we can get a phrase or two out of translations. Sometimes we can't, but we will be doing translations and see if we get anything that translates. Maybe just forwards and backwards even for this one, because if I usually script scramble them for the translations just to get as much as I can. Might be here till next year flip scrambling these. So that might not be a thing that happens. So, but yeah, we will do translations, and then we will convert all these to numerological numbers and start over through the categories and see what else we get. And then we will be running the numerological numbers against, at the very end of all this, or at the end of the numbers, we'll be running the numerological numbers against our suspected quantum network users and see where the numbers go and where the numbers don't go, and see if we can figure out who might be using a quantum network. And then we'll move on to our binary code and binary code. So we got a ways to go, but we're almost through the letters. So that's going to be it for now, guys. Again, all that stuff is in the changes. It can be verified. It can be proven. Why is it there? Well, we think a quantum computer coded it. Is that, I mean, again, I'll say it again. Everybody's welcome to think whatever they want. Just know that it's in there. That's in the changes. If you agree with the changes, then that's what's in them. So there's no getting around that. So we'll see what else is in them. We'll see if we can. We'll see about random hits. We'll see about tomorrow, guys. These uploads are taking upwards of 12 hours now to load. So if I start uploading a video at noon, it might be uploaded by midnight, and that's about the speed at which it's going for me right now. So it's going to be slowing down. So, but that's anyway, guys. And again, we're still we haven't forgotten about the EHS. That's pretty important. More and more of that stuff is coming up all the time, all over the place, and it's something that needs to happen at some point. Before we have an overload of information that we have to do in one video. At first it was cool. Oh man. But anyway, that's gonna be it, guys. For now, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your evening or day whenever this uploads.